Hold on.
Good morning. You've reached 895themix.com, the people's voice, the people's choice. 895themix.com, the place you go for your personal conversations, for your business information, and for your spiritual inspiration. 895themix.com. You can find us online or on your TuneIn app. 895themix.com.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Fraught with technical difficulties this morning.
I tell you, we did.
895themix.com. This is about last night.
Just a little. There we go. Can you see your face?
I can see my face. Can you see your face?
Yeah, I can.
You want me to get closer to you?
Just a little bit.
You got to move the mics and all of this stuff and everything.
All right.
I'll take my board out. No, I don't need that board right now.
All right, cool. This is better.
This is better?
Yes.
Okay, so about last night, we decided that today's topics would be...
Today we're going to talk about time. Time. How do we use our time? What do we do with our time? How do we waste our time? How can we get more out of our time?
I thought you were going to say, how can we get more time?
Or how can we get more time? That comes up all the time in our
I don't have
meetings.
enough time.
In our men's meetings,
Really?
surprisingly, because men don't have time to ever, especially family men. We have on the first and third Tuesday nights in Charlotte, North Carolina. Tonight is one. We have an organization called Male Empowerment Networks. We meet at 1420 Batesville Road in the Powerhouse, across the street from Northwest
School of the Arts.
North Mecklenburg School of the Arts.
Northwest
Mecklenburg School of the Arts, right across the street. And over the years, it comes up often that men never have time to not do anything.
Not do anything?
Yes, just sit down and read a book or just chill. It comes up all of the time.
I don't know that I agree with that.
Well, men bring it up. Anyway.
Yeah, I think...
But that's not where we're going to go today.
Oh, okay, where we're going to go.
Well, what do you do? How do we use our time? Mm-hmm. You know, it was interesting to us. The reason why we decided to do this is we started talking about, I think, how much time people spend watching television, or how much time people spend on Facebook.
Right.
One of the cool things I asked you today, and let's talk about this on camera.
Okay.
Is one of the great books I enjoy is called Passion, Profit, and Power by Marshall Silver. And in this book, he asks you to describe your ideal day. Mm-hmm. What would you do? Like first thing, what time would you wake up on your ideal day of work?
Okay.
What time would you wake up? What would you have for breakfast? What would you be doing? And when people look at their ideal days, almost no one ever budgets time for television watching. No one ever budgets time for Facebooking, but people use it. And you had some interesting thoughts about that today.
Well, what I said was relating to Facebook, and when you use Facebook for your business itself, it's not a waste of time. It's actually a part of doing business.
Okay.
So you do spend time there. And you asked me, how much time would I allocate for Facebooking? And I said, if I'm talking about Facebooking as it relates to my business, according to my marketing mentor, that I should be spending 4 hours a day marketing, whether it doesn't have to be Facebook, but social media, marketing my business. And that doesn't mean spamming up my wall with what I do, but actually utilizing the Facebook services and options to connect with the audiences that connect with my services.
Like groups and all of that.
Groups, inboxing, interacting, giving value to people. It's actually the job that you do if you don't have a marketing department.
Well, if that's the case, let's take a 24-hour workday. Mm-hmm. How much time should we spend?
A 24-hour workday?
A 24-hour day.
Oh, okay.
Okay, 24-hour day.
Okay.
How much time do you believe we should spend in sleeping?
Well, I think 8 hours you should be sleeping.
8?
I don't sleep 8 hours.
Do you know anybody ever sleep 8 hours?
No, but I babies.
Okay. But they don't do it straight, do they?
When they start out, they do, I guess. I don't know.
All right, I'm going to say 6 hours sleeping.
I'll go with 6.
6 hours sleeping. So that leaves us with 18 hours left. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, out of these 18 hours, let's play around with it a little bit. Now, we're not making this a blanket statement for everyone, but how should we spend the remaining 18 hours, the waking 18 hours?
So we should be doing something for someone else, doing something for our health, doing something for our business, doing something for our mental health, and doing something for entertainment or relaxation.
Well, let's do it this way. Let's take out 8 hours. Let's take out 10 hours for work.
10 hours. So there's 16 hours gone.
Yep. Yep. We take out 10 hours from work. So that leaves us with 8 more hours.
Wow.
Yes.
That seems like a whole lot of time.
And what do we do with these 8 hours every single day?
Good morning, Tawana.
That we could do anything we want with. Now, I'm saying 10 hours for work. And that's including 8 hours on the job and an hour traveling and whatever. Let's budget 10 hours for work. That leaves us 8 hours on any day.
10 hours for work and 6 hours for sleep.
Yep.
That's 16 hours. You don't have 8 hours left.
16 plus 8 is how much?
Wow, 24.
Yes.
Wow. That's a lot of time.
That's right. So let's take.
I don't know. I'm tired. I'm tired now from that.
Now, because this happens every day for everybody.
I know.
Every day for everyone. Everyone has this kind of time. So with these 8 hours free every day. So let's say you spend 2 hours helping children with homework, okay? Or serving something else. So that still leaves 6 more hours outside of homework. What do we do with it?
You got to do personal development.
We should. How much time should we allocate for personal development on a daily basis? Are those 6 hours we have to spare?
Well, I allocate 30 minutes to an hour now, but I didn't think about it as 6 hours, like just laying around. We got all of these hours.
So let's say you spend an hour studying your craft.
Okay.
That still leaves 5 more hours to do something with.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm looking at this schedule over here that we put together. We put together our schedule and you probably can't read everything, but for the day, and it already felt very, very full from 7 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. But you're saying that there's more time in there.
That's right.
Okay.
You know, Jim Rohn said people work 8 hours a day for their sustenance, and any time they spend working after that is for their prosperity. Okay, so we still got 5 hours to kill every day. And looking at the expression, killing time. Killing time.
I'm telling you need to watch that movie, In Time. Good morning, Audrey.
Tell us why we should watch that movie again.
The movie In Time.
She keeps recommending I watch it. I haven't seen it yet.
Justin Timberlake is a fantastic movie where people, actually, Michael Catlow referred the movie to me, and it changed his life, but it's definitely changed the way that I look at things. So In Time, everybody is aged up to 25 years old. You're born and you grow to 25. And there's no illnesses, no sicknesses or anything like that. At 25, you stop aging.
Okay.
But then you have 365 days left of life. Okay. And your job is not to run out of those 365 days.
Okay.
And to earn more days.
Yep. And your currency is time. Not money.
Not money. It's time. So they go to work and they earn time. So I keep pointing to my hand because it's a watchy, clocky, tattooy thing that they put their arms in and they get more time as in exchange for the things that they've done. Well, the wealthiest people have lived centuries and centuries and centuries, and the poorest people, the people that live in the ghettos, barely make it to the first anniversary of their 25th birthday. And it is a race for time every day. Racing for time.
You know, you kind of touched on something that we talked about earlier, how closely time is with money. You know, let's take for an example of a situation, and I just want to pose this to the people that are on the recording. Like if you ever had a situation where all your bills are paid and you have extra cash. Let's take $1,500 in cash. All your bills are paid for the month. You got all your groceries done, but you still got $1,500 left in cash. And a lot of people with that extra cash, whether it's $1,500, $1,000, $500, $2,000, whatever, the amount doesn't matter. But the point is, a week later, from the moment when you had this extra cash,
it was extra
cash. You can't figure out what happened to your extra cash. It's gone.
It just went away.
And why is that? It's because that money wasn't earmarked for anything.
Right.
It wasn't allocated for anything. It ended up being gone, right?
Right. And I was watching...
Same thing with... Let me make the point.
Go ahead.
So the same thing with our time. When it's not allocated or earmarked, a lot of times we just waste it. Yesterday, or was it today, you looked at your calendar and you had a 3-hour block where there was nothing scheduled. I think it was like 12 to 3.
12 to 3.
12 to 3. That's 3 hours you have nothing scheduled. And your first thought was... Your first thought, remember you was telling me what that was?
I have to be deliberate about my time.
That's your second thought. Mm-hmm. But your first thought is, oh gosh, what am I going to do with all this time?
And actually, I think what I really meant is that those 3 hours, because we block them every day. So far, every day from 12 to 3 is supposed to be back office time, paperwork time, deliberate time stuff. And I don't specify what I'm doing in that time. I just block the time.
Right.
And so I'm losing it.
When you don't specify what happens in those 3 hours.
Yeah. Good morning to Londa. Hey, Andre.
You end up losing that time. Right?
Absolutely. If I don't specify it on time, you have 4 minutes of time left.
So I want everyone to kind of realize, you have more time than you think.
Yeah, I realize that now.
How about the expression, life is short? Is that true or false in your opinion?
I think it is short. If I knew sooner what I know now, if I knew back then what I know now, I would have made more deliberate use of the time that I have. Because I believe closer to 50, as I am, closer to 50, that I have less time to accomplish the things that I believe that I'm supposed to accomplish. Hey, sweetie, love you too.
Muhammad Ali does this diatribe where he's talking about how life is short. Uh-huh. And he says, if you think about a man age 50 years old, I think is how he does it, and you think about all the hours of his life that he spent sleeping, that's going to add up to so many years, okay?
I don't want to add up those years.
Yes. All the time, hours you spend sleeping, that adds up to years. And then you add up all the time you spend traveling, going to and fro someplace, right?
But Andre says life is short when it's aimless.
When it's aimless.
Yes. Because remember that story you said a couple of days ago about the guy who came back and said, how did you waste 20 years?
Yes. I'll do it real quick. It was Les Brown tells a story about when he goes back home to Liberty City and he bumps into an old friend of his. And he hadn't been there in 20 years and the guy was still on the block doing nothing. And Les asked him a simple, honest question. How did you waste 20 years? And the guy said, I didn't waste 20 years. Mm-hmm. I wasted a day.
Wow.
And then that wasted day turned into a wasted week. And that wasted week turned into a wasted month. And here we are 20 years later. Okay, that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Man, we waste so much time. I'm coming to the realization, too. Life is short when you add up all the time that you spend sleeping and traveling
and wasting
and preparing to do, but not yet doing. Mm-hmm. But the time we actually spend doing is so small.
It is, but that's why as an entrepreneurial coach, entrepreneurial empowerment coach, and sales coach, I often teach people to do. Take action. Take deliberate action. Fail forward, like John C. Maxwell says. Do it and fix it in place because tomorrow's not promised. You don't know what you have, and some of us spend so much time preparing, and trying to make everything perfect before they take that first step, that the world misses out on what it is that they have to offer. Alvin Eccles, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Eccles. How you doing, sir? That's one of the chief frustrations I have as a coach is sometimes I get the feeling, and we've talked about this, that my clients will hire me, but they don't seem to have the urgency.
Like, come on.
That I want them to have. Okay,
right.
That you don't have days to waste,
Man don't work, man don't eat.
Right,
Good morning, David Franco, the perky collar.
in professional sales
Absolutely.
Or in entrepreneurship, we don't have someone paying us for the time that we are there.
Right.
We have to produce all our money.
Absolutely.
Right? So we don't have days to waste.
Lou Nesbitt.
Mr. Lou Nesbitt. Oh!
Absolutely.
How are we doing on time for this show?
We are at 59 minutes, and we don't want to take up too much of your time because we know you've got amazing things to accomplish today. 59 seconds.
59 seconds, okay.
59 seconds. We're only on for 15 minutes. The reason why we chose to go live is because we want to share with you what it is that we have. And Andre, I agree with you. He says, I know exactly what you're talking about. And Lou says, hola. So I am going to go ahead and sign off. We'll be back here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I am Lisa Santiago McNeil.
And I'm Brian Keith McNeil.
And this is 895 The Mix, the people's voice, the people's choice, your station for personal conversation, business information, and spiritual inspiration. 895themix.com. Join us here tomorrow at 9 a.m. and on 895themix.com online, as well as on your TuneIn app. Have an amazing day. Hey, Candace.